in tonight with a snapshot of where we are in the fight against this coronavirus and where we may be headed.
Mecklenburg County just unloaded a lot of new data here. Take a good look here. New projections that may be difficult for a lot of us to take. June 8th as a possible peak date. Now, the number of cases right now in the county is just short of 1,000. And please just take a moment and take a look at some of these percentages here. 77% of the confirmed cases have never required hospitalization, and more than 53% have already recovered and are out of isolation. Unfortunately, 16 people have died, but that is less than 2% of all cases in the county. Channel 9's government reporter Joe Bruno just listened with the county leaders, and as they laid out new projections for how long we'll be dealing with all of this.
Using analytics from Google, county leaders say our social distancing rate is right now at around 45 to 50%, and that plays a role in determining when we hit our peak. Take a look at this chart. It was just presented to county commissioners. It was crafted using the University of Pennsylvania's model with local data. At our 45% rate, the peak is now projected to hit June 8th. If fewer people social distance, the rate drops to 30%. The peak would then be sooner, May 22nd. Here's the stay-at-home order's effect on cumulative case count. You can see the blue line is how we are trending with it in place. If it is lifted, the county says it will shoot up like the red line. Based on the meeting, it seems highly unlikely the stay-at-home order is lifted at the end of the month. Commissioners worry about the mental toll this could take on people.
Even the dates are so overwhelming because people who have survived through April are having difficulty. While it is life-saving for us to flatten the curve, it's really taking a toll on people.
Now, when the stay-at-home order is lifted, it won't be like a light switch. Think of it kind of as going up and down, maybe like a dimmer. It will gradually take effect, all of the restrictions being lifted there. It'll also be made in conjunction with the city as well as the 6 towns in Mecklenburg County. To give you some idea, those talks haven't even started yet, Damani.
Oh, Joe, those dates are just eye-opening. Now, I know that the county was planning a field hospital. Did that come up again?
Yeah, we learned now that the field hospital is going to be at the Charlotte Convention Center if needed. County Manager Gina DiOrio is asking for Atrium and Novant to let her know as soon as possible whether or not they think they will need that field hospital, because it will take about 21 days to set up. Damani.
And Joe Bruno reporting live for us tonight. Thank you.
And we continue to see cases rising at local nursing homes.
Now we're monitoring an outbreak at a long-term care facility in Salisbury. Just take a look here. Rowan County is now reporting 189 positive cases. And you can see the cases by zip code here. Now look closely. There are 115 cases in the 28147 zip code alone. And that's where the Citadel is a nursing home. Sources now tell us they are now dealing with an outbreak. And Channel 9's Mark Becker has been investigating cases at nursing homes, and now he joins us live outside the Citadel. And Mark, do we know how many cases are there tonight?
Not exactly, Damani, but we can get pretty close, right? Because the county here, Rowan County, just announced that they had 91 new cases overnight. They had 4 cases already, we're told, here at this particular facility, and so half of 91, well, that's going to be at least 46, right? So there would be about 50 here, which means there are dozens of families waiting on edge to hear from their loved ones. Are you afraid?
I'm very afraid, and I'm very sad.
She's worried, and you can understand why. We just told her that the nursing home caring for her father, the Citadel, has had dozens of residents and staff test positive for the coronavirus.
My father had told me as recently as last Friday, I believe, that there was a whole hall at their facility that was closed off, and he did mention that there were several patients that he hasn't seen anymore.
The wave of new cases here hit after the Rowan County Health Department oversaw wholesale testing of residents.
It's difficult once you have 1 or 2 cases to really stop those types of breakouts.
Health Director Nina Oliver told us her office has communicated with staff at the Citadel every day, suggesting ways to keep the virus from spreading.
They have followed all the guidelines that we've asked them to follow, all the recommendations.
But some are wondering if the safety measures came too late. A staffer at the Citadel told us yesterday that just 2 weeks ago, they were told not to wear masks.
I do think the facility should have taken measures early on. They didn't even start wearing masks, mandatory masks, until a week ago.
And now, on the outside and unable to help, a daughter is worried. Is he strong enough to survive COVID-19?
No, absolutely not. His body is very weak, and his lungs are compromised because of the emphysema. So there's no doubt in my mind he would not survive COVID-19.
And you have to wonder how many families are in that exact same position. We did try to reach management here at the Citadel. We're told they were going to release a statement sometime today, but we're still waiting. Damani?
All right, Mark Becker reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Mark.
When will North Carolina reopen? It's becoming a contentious and careful debate. Too soon, and we could risk a surge in cases. Too late, and our local businesses will continue to suffer. Channel 9's Ken Lemon has been looking into this topic for us today. And Ken, some people even protested the stay-at-home order.
And this is what has so many people frustrated, Allison. This is Acres Center. On a normal day here in Gastonia, its parking lot will be full to the brim with cars on a day like today. Shops will be open, but there are barely any cars here in the lot. All of the shops, except for a couple of them, are closed at this time. And this is what's happening all over the state. And frustrations over shutdowns have led to a confrontation at the state capitol.
Folks, this is your third and final opportunity to leave the parking lot.
This is a group called Reopen NC protesting with signs and then with their horns at the state capitol here until Capitol Police actually moved in to make arrests this afternoon. These people responding to massive layoffs and furloughs because of the governor's executive order that forced many businesses to close and many restrictions to move in and reduce that person-to-person contact with individuals. The spread of COVID-19, the governor said reopening too fast could be catastrophic. That stay-at-home order is supposed to be into effect until the end of the month. We're wondering what happens at that point here and how might businesses reopen. Part of a story I'm working on for you tonight at 6 o'clock, along with reaction from one Gastonia business, a staple in the area, losing business, but saying that we need to take things carefully. That's the story we'll have for you in just about an hour. Back to you.
All right, Ken, we'll see you then. It's a very fine line to walk. Thank you.
Well, health officials have said increased testing is important to stopping the virus. And now there will soon be even more testing sites and locations in Charlotte. Channel 9's Gina Esposito shows us the new sites in some of the city's hotspots.
Both Atrium Health and Novant Health are opening up mobile testing sites that don't require an appointment. They're also making it possible for you to walk up if you don't have access to a car. Today, Atrium Health opened up a mobile unit at North Park off Eastway Drive. I'm told some of the first people to arrive did not meet the criteria for testing. You must show COVID-19 symptoms in order to be tested. Atrium Health is also screening people for various needs and assessing whether people have the ability to quarantine. On Thursday, Atrium Health will open a mobile testing site at First Baptist Church off Oaklawn Avenue between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. I'm told those two locations are in hot zones and were selected because more people need access to testing.
Our whole strategy here is to make sure that we're reaching the most underserved parts of our communities by eliminating barriers to testing.
Novant Health plans to open up 2 mobile sites Wednesday around noon and Thursday and Friday from 9 to 5. They'll be at 2845 Beatties Ford Road in West Charlotte and 5501 Executive Center Drive in East Charlotte. The Michael Jordan Family Clinic on Freedom Drive will also open on Wednesday doing respiratory assessment, but you must have an appointment. Novant Health picked those sites because that's where health disparities exist and after gathering feedback from community partners.
We're increasing access to communities that have historically not had access to healthcare, and it's a evolving and continuous process. So when we looked at the data and understood where the disparities were occurring, we selected those.
Novant Health is asking that you call them to talk about your symptoms before showing up to a testing site. Both hospital systems tell me they're going to be looking at their data to see if these mobile sites, those locations, will change next week. Back to you.
A Raleigh drug maker says it's seeing success so far with testing its drugs on COVID-19 patients in Italy and Israel. The Triangle Business Report says Red Hill got approval to test its antiviral drug earlier this month. It says so far it's seeing positive results and says discussions are ongoing in the U.S. and other countries to treat more patients.